here we go. Okay. Well, welcome to my 6-week coaching team. We are so lucky to be able to have Diamond Ambassador Kelly Norman with us. She has been so gracious to take the time out of her night to talk to us on the topic of leadership. And the reason that I felt like she was a really good person to talk to us about this, you have such a sense of self, and every training that I've ever watched, I have to say to my team, when I started this in Maryland, as you guys know, there wasn't really anybody else here that was doing it. So I didn't have meetings to go to, and my upline was in Texas. And so basically I learned everything from going on YouTube. A lot of what I learned was actually from Kelly Norman, because she talked about the Probio 5 and the Bio Cleanse, which you know are pretty much my favorite products. And she did very thorough trainings, like opportunity meetings. And so I would just sit there and watch everything that she said about every product. And that's really how I learned a lot between her and Lori Harrison, who's going to be our guest next week. We are just like so blessed. But I really wanted you to talk on leadership because that's what we're covering this week. And I find that it's one of those things that people struggle with, the thought of seeing themselves as a leader. And I think that for those who, let's hit the mute button real quick for everybody. Here we go. Okay. And then Kelly, whenever you just unmute yourself because I just muted everyone for the background noise. But I think that people really struggle with seeing themselves as a leader, and I think that's a hindrance to reaching those dreams. And everybody in this particular group has just amazed me with your growth and your the things that you're doing to grow your business and breaking through all those barriers. But I think that this is a big one. I think that we get so, we look at other people as leaders, and we don't know that leaders come in all different packages and that kind of thing. So I'm so excited. I'm going to turn it over to Kelly and just hear what you have to say, and I'm going to take some notes.
All right, I feel honored that you called me to speak tonight, and I'm just blessed to be here to get to speak with you ladies. So I'm going to jump right in. And, you know, she was talking about leadership, and I have to tell you, probably the past 6 months, that has been the word that I feel like that I have just put out there to my team, that I have looked inward to myself. I'll give you a little bit of history for me is that right after I hit Diamond, probably 2 months afterwards, I was cooking supper for my family and my phone rang, and it was Charles. And he says, well, hey, Kelly, how's it going? So you just don't prepare yourself to get a call from Charles, you know, every night. So it kind of caught me off guard. He says, I just want to know how things are going. And I was in the middle of cooking spaghetti. And I says, you know, Charles, just great. And just short, you know, just had a short conversation. Things are going great, this and that, and moved on. Well, that wasn't true. Things weren't going great. And after I had hit Diamond, it was a hard time in our company, and I had a lot of people jump ship on me, and my points were starting to go down. Just things weren't going like I'd hoped for. And so the next day, I called him back, and I says, you know, Charles, yesterday when you called me, you kind of caught me off guard, and I want to tell you that things aren't really going great, and here's some issues I'm having, and I just threw them out there to me. And this is what he said, guys. He said, Kelly, this business is 10% product, because we'd had a product change, and that was really devastational to my team. He said, this business is 10% product, 90% personal development. And when he told me that, I tell you, it really ticked me off. And I'm going, are you not listening to me? And so I hung up the phone, and I was kind of discouraged. But you know what? I spent the next little bit really reflecting, and those words resounded inside of me that I saw that he is right. It's not about whether we lost a product. It's about me, and I'm the only one that can steer this ship, and I'm the leader. And so I just jumped in to personal development and realized that there were some changes that needed to be made in me so that I could be a better leader and that I could help develop leaders. So personal development is a word I want to leave with you tonight. Is you're going to become the books that you read this year. In 2016, a year from now, I believe that the books that you read will determine who you are. And personal develop yourself. And the good thing about personal development is that you always have something to talk about. My sister always laughs and she says, I always know what you're reading because every time we get together, then I'm talking about it. And that's just pretty cool, because when you're feeding yourself, then you're going to be able to have great things to talk about. And this is something that I believe. I believe that we are like rivers. And I believe that as the water comes in, as the knowledge comes in, as the development comes in here, that it doesn't stay, it goes to flow out. And that is exactly what you guys are doing, is that you are becoming better leaders so that you can develop leaders. Now, this puts me to my next point of you have got to develop leaders. That's how you're going to get to Emerald. That's how you're going to get to Diamond. That's how you're going to see explosive growth, is that you are developing leaders. So, we don't want to be like the mother hen and just holding everybody in here and then depending on us. We don't want fans. We don't want followers, but we want to develop leaders, and we want to be more like the Father Spirit that equips them and sends them out. So every time I am talking or doing a video or talking to my team, I'm always putting inside of there, okay, guys, now what you're learning tonight, go, run with it, pour this out to your team. And that's what I want to commission you on this 6-week challenge, is that if you sit here and you get all this information, but you do nothing with it, it's going to be no good, because it's meant for you to go out now and then you to duplicate and do the same thing and create leaders. So now I'm going to get to my notes that we were going to talk about. A long time ago, I had read something that stuck to me. And this man wrote this book, and he had an affair on his wife, and he was a preacher and this and that, and their marriage was restored. And he said something. He says, you know what? What's in the rearview mirror is roadkill. And that stuck with me, and that resounded in me. And I think somebody needs to hear that tonight, is that from this point forward, guys, what's in the rearview mirror is roadkill. We are looking forward. My life is forward motivation. I am moving forward all the time. I was talking to my husband the night, and we have been through several huge financial crises in our lives. And hindsight's 20/20. And so with a couple of decisions that we made, we lost almost everything we had twice. And sometimes he gets down on himself and he says, of all people, if I could have just made this decision or that. And it's like, I said, you know what? My mind can't comprehend what you're saying, because I do not spend 1 second per day thinking about a past failure. I just can't do it. It's not in me. No, that is because, guys, my mistakes have been my best teachers. And so as we embrace that and we have seen where maybe we have made a mistake and we have learned from that, but I want to tell you, if you catch yourself looking in the rearview mirror, then you are stalled out. And I hope that you're able to look forward, to move forward, and not look back. Something else I want to talk to you about is success. Okay, so you've seen this picture before where success actually, a lot of us think, when I say success in Plexus, that means, ranking up and you growing your business. Okay, so a lot of us think it looks like this right here, right? Well, that is definitely not what it looks like. You've seen this before. It looks like this. And then down here, maybe bulk the grid, and then it's just going to go up and down. So don't have the false thinking that you're just going to get involved and that your business is just going to go like this right here. Because when you find yourself going like this, you're going to give up. If you have that unrealistic expectation that things are just going to be rosy, and when you look at the diamonds, you think, oh, well, they've just done great. Well, listen, the reason that they're diamond is because when things went like this, that they didn't give up, they didn't get down, they didn't get depressed, they didn't complain, they didn't get negative, but they found a way to come back up here and to take people with them. So that's going to be the only difference you see people that are ranking up. I believe is a mindset of staying positive, of going forward, of not being stalled, not looking back, is not giving up and staying positive and pushing through the hard times. And so how timely is that word for right now? Because, we've had a little bit of hard times with the back office. And it's no secret. But let me tell you, the leaders are going to be exposed. They're going to walk to the next few months. Are my points down this month than they were last month? Yeah. Do I think it has to do with some of the back office stuff? Yeah. But you know what? Me sitting here complaining about it and being down about it is going to do absolutely nothing. But what I need to do is be a leader, encourage my team, find ways to help hold them accountable so they can go out and they can do those things for others, stay positive. I did a launch party last night for a new ambassador. I absolutely love that. It gives me new energy. I encourage you to do launch parties, to get to launch parties, because when you're around each other and you're talking about the life-changing experiences you see, if I didn't do that launch party last night, I wouldn't have got to hear how my friend's fibromyalgia has been absolutely transformed from these products, how she's off her prescription medications, how she has high hopes of growing this business, a room full of people that were eager to learn and get help with their things, and then us come together and just encourage them instead of me focusing on the back office issues and reading negativity and this and that and another. You know what? I'm going to change the things I can change, and the things that I have no control over. If my ambassador's order is not shipping out for a month and they charged her and, some things that have been going on, you know what? It is what it is. I'll do everything I can to help her, but I can't lose sleep and I can't get all discouraged over this. I have to move forward and I have to share what we have. And so I just want to encourage you guys is that maybe you've stalled out. Maybe you've had some hard situations with the back office. Blow it off. Do what you can and move forward. 1% to 2% will make it in network marketing. And do you know why? The 1% to 2%, those are just the people that didn't give up. Those are just the people that decided that they're going to be teachable. Now, I tell people, if you're going to be a teacher, you're going to go to college for 4 years and you're going to get a degree. Well, what makes you think that you can get involved with network marketing? So we have got to, I encourage you to read every single book out there that you can find on network marketing. Millionaire by Halftime. I mean, personally, I like GoPro. It's simple. It's easy to read. It has some great things in there. The first book I got was my first year in network marketing. That's all I knew. I went to Google and I tried to find a book about network marketing, and that's the one I found. So I just encourage you always be reading books about network marketing, be teachable, see areas. I was talking to a girl on my 3rd level today, and she was doing really good, and she kind of stalled out, and I said, let's talk. And so we spent an hour today on the phone talking about maybe some things she's not doing, maybe some things that she is doing right, and just revamped, got her some goals, and be the type of person that reaches up. Be the type of person, if things aren't going and moving like you hope them to, reach up and say, hey, can we have a talk? Let's see what's going on here. And I tell people that I, as a leader, and your leaders are probably like this too, is that I like to play tennis with my people. And so when they hit the ball to me, I hit the ball back to them. But if people are never staying in contact with me, so it's hard for me to help them. So be a player, play tennis, go reach up to your upline, brainstorm, see what you can be doing, and go forward. In 1940, there was this ship, and the water was cold, it was freezing, and it crashed, and there was 400 people on board. Okay, so 200 of those people froze in that freezing water and died, and 200 lived. So reporters were going to the 200 people, and some of them were asked, how did you make it? How were you part of the 200 that lived and not died? And this is what most of them said, is that I was reminded of the people that were depending on me. That's powerful right there. They were reminded of the people that were depending on them. So I want to tell you, when you walk through hard times, here's you an exercise. I want you to stop and I want you to make a list of the people that are depending on you. Many of you have a husband that it's really a blessing as you're bringing finances into the home and helping him. Many of you have children that you want a better future for. You have parents maybe that are depending on you. You have friends, siblings, whatever it is. You have a downline that is depending on you. And as people are depending on you, it helps you to rise up and to push through and not be destroyed through the hard times. So I want you to think about that. I asked my husband the other night as we were driving down the road, because something that I have to be focused on is that I don't spend 24/7 working this business and neglect my family. But I can't spend all my time, with my family and not work my business. So I have to find that nice middle point there. And so I was asking him, it's great to communicate with your spouse over these things. I was like, do you ever feel like that you're on the back burner with my business? And he said, I feel like you do your business for me. He says, I feel like when you're working that you're just wanting a better life for us. And so that really blessed me, is that he felt that way. Ended up here, okay, I want to talk about, when people gather up on Thanksgiving, or when you get together, so many people want to talk about what's going on with a superstar football player, or in our life we rodeo. So who's at the top rodeoing and living their lives through other people, through superstars, through movie stars, through whoever that is, and that's the discussion. So I want to mention something here. How about we live our lives with us being the superstars? How about we not live our lives through the success of what other people are doing, but that we determine that we are going to be a success and that we are going to make a difference. Somebody was telling me that like if you're in your 40s, that you have 1,981 Tuesdays left of your life, because I think the average life is like 78. 1,981. So the point being is that we don't have a lot of life on this earth. Whether you live to be 78 years old or not, it's still not that long. So why not make a mark, make a difference, determine that you are going to fulfill your destiny and that you are going to be everything that you are called to be. I know that I've always said, it's always a desire inside of me that I want to taste the richness of life. When it comes time for my day to end up on this earth, I want to accomplish everything I was created for. I want to help as many people get to their dreams and their goals. And so I just encourage you to have that spirit, to rise up. And, I call it like a warrior spirit, is that don't be pushed back, don't look back, but go forward and dream big dreams and believe that you're going to reach that. And something that I told my 6-week challenge or 6-week coaching team when I was talking to them is that I think this is a revelation that God gave me, was we talk about being successful, and every once in a while I find myself saying those words, being successful. But I want to tell you something here. I want you to get this mindset, is that you are already successful. So you just have to operate out of that success. Success is not really something that we're obtaining. It's who we already are. And so when you see yourself as successful and when you operate out of success, then everything changes. And one thing, if I could leave you tonight, is that if you're striving, then stop. Because this is all about thriving. This is all about operating from a place of success, being a leader, helping as many people as we can get there, personal development into our lives. And when you help others, then your goals take care of themselves. And 2 points, this is the last 2 points right here, is that in the Bible it talks about David. And David had to stir himself up. You know what? I find out the people that make it to those rank advancements, those jewels, so many of them had this characteristic, is they were able to stir themselves up. Don't be somebody that sits there and wait for somebody to come motivate you or to inspire you to get up. Be your own motivator and stir yourself up. And, personally, my life is... I'm a spiritual person. I believe that the Holy Spirit lives inside of me, and I'm a Christian. And so therefore, I rely on the strength of God and the Holy Spirit to stir myself up and to be able to move forward. And last point here is, do you have a mentor? Now, right now you're being mentored because you're in this group. But I want you to think about that. Are you being mentored? Who is pouring inside of your life? And sometimes your mentors don't know you, and you don't know them. I like to say that Joyce Myers has been a huge mentor of mine, but she doesn't know me. But I would say that she is one of my mentors. So make sure you're being mentored, and then make sure you're mentoring somebody. And that is going to be the goal for the rest of your life. Always being mentored, always mentoring somebody else. So those are just a few notes that I wrote down tonight. Hope something in here resonated, sparked within you that you can be blessed by.
Oh my gosh, Kelly, thank you so much. I wrote all these notes down, of course, as you were talking. I've got pages of notes. So you have mentored me without knowing it, which is obviously why I reached out to you. So thank you so much. I have tears in my eyes just listening to everything that you had to say. I think that, and I have to tell you guys, my team, that I didn't hear all of this before I got Kelly on this call. So this was all new, this was all new to me as well. And as you were talking, I was like, okay, now I know why I felt such a connection to you in the first place. The things that you're saying, being your own motivator, the always needing to move forward and not being able to, I'm that way. I can't stay focused on the negative. So even with everything that has happened and, with the back office, same thing. I just had to do what I can, focus on what I can, but constantly always be looking at what can I still do? We still have these amazing products, and this will work itself out. And so I'm trying to say this quickly so I can let you go, but I love where you talked about at the end leadership and helping others, because the funniest thing was I never saw myself as a leader. I never imagined that I was one. But in the 24 months since I started and opened up my first package of Plexus and started bringing people on board, I brought people on board because I wanted them to feel better. You need to have this in your life. And then when it was changing my life financially, I was like, you need to get on board with this. And because I wanted to help people. Well, before I knew it, I was getting messages and having people constantly refer to me as a leader. And I would take my computer and show my husband and say, this is crazy. They keep calling me a leader. What is wrong with them? They don't know me. And it turned out that because when I picked up the John Maxwell book, well, just through really learning this, but also when I picked up the How to Influence People and started reading like the first couple of chapters, I went, oh, well, that's what leadership is. It's wanting to help people. And it's doing a good job at helping people. Well, no wonder. So I think I love everything that you said. I mean, you just completely, I feel so refilled and rejuvenated and reminded, as always, of why I love this company, and just feel like when I found it, I found my people, the people who are out there wanting to really do good. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of that. I just really appreciate it. So.
Thanks for asking me. I feel honored to be here with you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have an awesome night, and I'm sure that I'll see you around on Facebook, and I'm sure I'm going to see you in Hawaii.
That's right. I look forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Kelly.
Bye-bye.
Bye.